Come on. Gently.
You're okay. Come on. Careful, careful,
Come on.
careful.
Come down.
You got it?
Come on.
Thanks.
This is what happens when she has nightmares, it seems.
There are those who connect with the beach during REM sleep, allowing a tremendous amount of chiralium to flow into their bodies.
Hey, is your wrist gonna be okay?
Yeah. We ran some blood and DNA tests on her. And checked her for signs of injury.
As far as we can tell from a medical perspective, her health is in perfect condition. But that doesn't make the chrysaloid shell in which we found her any less troubling. Not to mention the tar-like fluid that came pouring out of it. We're still analyzing both. And there's more.
You mean those suckers?
Indeed. But that's not what I'd call them. Much closer to a chiral rash, I would say. You know how chiral allergies can sometimes trigger goosebumps? It's like that, except a fair bit worse. The tar-like secretions can accelerate the passage of time on contact, it seems.
We suspect she has dooms too.
And that when she's levitating, she's experiencing the nightmares common amongst sufferers.
That space or realm she left behind to come here. The fellow we saw called it Nirvana, I believe. But to me, it looked like the land of the dead.
Even so, she's a living human being. And I believe that she was born in that place. After things settled down, I spoke with her for a little. Or tried to. She was still in shock, which made it harder to communicate.
Did she tell you her name?
It doesn't seem like she has one. As far as I could tell. So, I named her myself. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh?
Sam, it's Charlie. We've recently received a report of brigands engaging in suspicious activity to the west. I'm sure you'd like to push on, but I don't think we can afford to ignore this. Please access the DHB Magellan's delivery terminal to undertake this main order.
Sam, we've received an urgent request from the Northern Environmental Observatory. Brigands to the west of the facility have got their hands on a large stockpile of weapons and have taken it back to their base. This happened shortly after the recent Tarfall abated. The surrounding area was littered with a massive quantity of cargo that had been washed up by the tar. The brigands wasted no time gathering up everything they could and hauling it back to their encampment. This included weapons and gear unlike any we've seen before. And now we've begun observing new brigand units in the field. These ones are wearing red, reinforced armor, accented with luminescent light strips. As their unique appearance suggests, they're more resistant to damage. Melee and electrical attacks are especially ineffective against them. These units have clearly been outfitted for close quarters combat. and their sudden deployment is troubling to say the least. Their presence likely indicates that the brigands are gearing up for a raid of some sort. And if we ignore this development, the brigands could use their new toys to attack the observatory, and there's no telling what might happen then. So we need to seize all of them before they have a chance to do so. Moreover, the latest data from the observatory strongly suggests an explosion of some sort occurred just beneath the Earth's surface not long ago. APAS analyzed the shockwave and has concluded that it is consistent with the type produced by ground-penetrating ordnance. This leads us to believe that the cargo the brigands secured may have included powerful explosive material. Directly assaulting the brigands using firearms risks triggering these devices, and we cannot predict how that would affect the region. Any sort of catastrophic explosion may also have an adverse impact on the tar currents. It is therefore critical that you avoid combat and secure the cargo without alerting them if possible. I implore you to take on this main order, Sam, and soon.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
Reporting for duty. All right, I'm coming in. And we're back. Be careful, Sam. Those shells contain tranquilizing gas.
good.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This the right size? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. Close one.
Just like that, Sam.
Legs.
Did you really go out and steal all that stuff from the brigands? Way to go, Sam. Let me get started on processing your haul. I can't find a single scratch on any of this stuff. You truly are one of a kind. You have accomplished so much, done things only you could have done. We want you to have this data as thanks. We've increased your allocation of materials. Our way of saying thanks.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
The guidepost data we just shared with you is great for making landmarks to prevent people from getting lost, even at night. And when you do place them, you'll find they're useful not only for getting your bearings, but also for creating routes that will facilitate travel for everyone. Aside from that, we've also made it so you can now use your PCC to fabricate bridges up to 80 meters in length. The rivers ahead of you are prone to flooding, so I imagine extra long bridges will be especially handy. Oh, and Sam, there's actually one other thing I wanted to talk about. Call it a little insight into the cargo you recovered on our behalf. It included a device I believe you guys have taken to calling a chiral jammer. These jammers are capable of disrupting the flow of local tar currents. In addition, you also recovered some explosives modded to be able to penetrate the ground and detonate within the tar. This would destabilize the currents over a large area. Needless to say, both these items could have been used to deliver an enormous blow to the chiral network. In other words, we've really dodged a bullet. But what I'd like to know is why this tech wound up in their hands in the first place. Can't chalk it up to pure chance. Honestly, it's almost like those brigands knew in advance that the tar was hiding cargo. We've got to consider the possibility that someone gave them a heads up. Food for thought on the road ahead.
Excellent work, Sam. You'll be happy to hear that tomorrow's regained consciousness. Once you're back on board the DHV Magellan, you should see for yourself.
Order completed. Well done.
Take care of yourself.
Stop it.
Someone doesn't like shoes. She won't even touch any normal food. But at least we managed to convince her to take a shower. No, tomorrow. We don't do that.
Seems like a real handful.
She just needs some time to settle.
You must be tired, Sam. Get some rest.